All right, 5 o'clock, work session for the Architect Review Board is underway. First project is 115 Orchard Avenue. Comments from the board?
I think it looks very nice. I think the redesign was handled very well. I just have one minor suggestion. It's not a requirement, just a suggestion that if they were to want to add another bracket to the left of the man door at that cantilever, that would look nice. Just a suggestion.
I agree. The revised massing is much improved, and there was the neighbor that spoke last week. I'm not sure if the reconfiguration helped with the vision of the cars, but would there be a maybe not our board, but would there be a privacy fence ask or something to screen cars?
Um, that's not my understanding. I believe that he was interested in having the building rotated 90 degrees and, that just doesn't work out with the
Well,
septic site.
Well, right, but I was saying since that's not possible, because then that would screen the cars to know if there was any other movement that would allow that to be.
To me, I don't see that as within our purview to require a fence.
Yeah. No additional comments from me, other than to say, what the other two already have. It's really nice from last time.
All right. Well, that is a public hearing. We will discuss that one. Next, the 202 has been withdrawn, so we are not reviewing 202 Rosemont this evening. Next project is 118 West Jackson Road. Comments from the board?
No comments.
No comments.
No comments. Again, I think that the improvements from last time are clear. They did a nice job.
I do believe that maintaining the fascia on that existing gable on the downside slope toward the rear, that helped a lot. However, on the left side elevation, those rough-in windows might never be installed. I mean, if that is no longer a golf simulator in the future, they wish to install those windows, that's great, but they may never be installed. So that substantial amount of uninterrupted sighting, I think, needs more attention. Perhaps they could vary the siding type and the upper level or something, but I think we need to be mindful that those rough-in windows might never, ever appear.
Yeah, the horizontal trim board helps as well. I agree. And keeping that slope on the back. I had envisioned that maybe we would say, should they like to just put those windows in now and use blackout shades, or even build drywall in the interior, but have the windows installed so it's easier in the future, that might be a nice option for them. Because I had the same thought, but I wasn't sure what more to add.
Yeah, actually, I think that would be a very good suggestion. As if they wanted to do the windows now, they would match all of the rest of the new windows, and then they could simply uncover them from the interior in the future if they chose to.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we can discuss 118. Next, we have 857 Clark Avenue, new construction. Comments?
It's a really lovely building.
Yeah.
Really lovely home. They did a really nice job with it. The only thing and I don't think this is maybe this is an option just to consider, but the left side elevation is a bit long. Got a lot of good windows on there with nice grills, but it's the only side of the house that gets that long without any kind of bump out. in or out on the facade. And, when you look at the plans, maybe, one of the bedrooms and the area below it could get a little bigger or something, just to add some variation. But that would be a really minor recommendation and perhaps optional, but that was the only thing that stood out to me, really.
Yeah, I have two comments, it's very small as well. I understand the financials of going from the hardy board front to the vinyl on the sides, but wondered if those corner boards, the main corner boards, could be hardy board to wrap the corner, and then the vinyl if they wish to do the vinyl. And I like the facade with the corbelled pork chops or eaves at the top. But wondered if the corbel could be a deeper white or two to get them more substance than just a single white of brick at the front, and then that also probably aid in keeping the corbels actually corbelling with having tie back bricks, stretchers or Rolox or anyway, yeah, add some more mass to them, but just a suggestion, not a requirement.
I think this is a very nice looking house. I just have one comment that's really a tweak on the right side elevation. In order to have trim all the way around the perimeter of the windows, the two windows that are toward the front of that side, if maybe they could hold that brick wrap back a little bit or tweak the window position so we don't cut off the trim on the one side of those windows.
Yeah, I had that same comment that way. I mean, especially for waterproofing that window, it's the same detail all the way around. I had another comment. It looks like how they're turning the brick around the corner. It looks like they're also changing the material of the trim underneath the soffit.
Oh, I see
So
that.
it's a more decorative trim and then it just stops and goes to a more simple trim. And I feel like that change isn't going to read well when it's actually built. So I would suggest we just use one trim type all the way around. I saw that both trim types are a two-part trim, so hopefully it wouldn't be that big of a cost change for them. But I just feel like if you're looking up at the top of the building and you see that change, it almost looks like a mistake.
Yeah, so yeah, going
We
from,
ran out of material and we gotta,
is that the change from the number 5 on 12 to 3 on 12? Yeah.
what's that? It's
Yeah,
sheet
that's the
5.
details.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the details. Yep, that's it.
All right. Discuss Clark. Next, we have 739 Hearst Green.
I think most of the comments were picked up very nicely. And there's just one remaining that I think may be more of a drafting housekeeping item than anything else, is that the plan was to keep the returns at the gutter line the same all the way around. That's the only change that has not been picked up because there's still quite a variety of conditions as you go around the house. So maybe we can talk through that and perhaps put it in a motion. But other than that, I think everything else was picked up quite well.
Yeah, I had no comments to.
My only comments were, and this might be just me not being so familiar with the what do you call the eave returns under those front gables? Is there a name for those? These little guys here.
Little soffits.
Are those simply hipped back to the?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Looks like they are.
But they can come back as is either a hip or they can be flattened. Like it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
see which condition these are. Let's see.
The hip shed, yeah.
And then my other comment was, I know last time we moved, there was a column on the rear porch that was right in front of the window. We got rid of that. But now I'm wondering if we would have one post in the middle of the porch.
Long span.
It's a long span, right, right. And and actually it would frame that double window nicely if we did have a second post there.
Yeah.
But just a suggestion. And less lumber for a head or two.
Yep.
All right. We'll discuss Hearth Green. Next, we have 1112 Drayton Avenue.
I had no comment.
Did you guys have photos of this one? No. I'm curious about the the roof overhang, if it matched the existing or not.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna suggest trim around the windows. And then that slider door where it meets the landing of the stair. I'm not sure if that's just one operable leaf of that slider, but if both are operable, then we'd want to make that landing larger. And then I was also curious about the material of the railing on the back. Looks like it's probably wood, but
I was just gonna say that I was gonna have the same comment about the trim and around the windows and then the corners of the.
yeah.
I guess another thing we often talk about is when the stair comes up like that, putting some kind of fascia or, lattice underneath it.
Mhm. All right, any other comments? We'll discuss Drayton Avenue, and then next we have 425 South Gore. Front porch.
Thought this was nice. I was wondering about, kind of breathability. So we just said, I just ended the last one by talking about lattice work oftentimes being in the front around these things. That's so that there's some air circulation, and I didn't know if there would be, if that was a concern for the builder and the homeowner at all, that putting full boards, fascia boards around there, that if that would be of any concern to them. But I think that the porch itself is great.
Yeah, if it's solid like that, seems like you'd want an access panel or something, so you could get in there.
It's such a traditional style house that I think the porch design is basically fine, but it has a little bit of a contemporary look to it that doesn't, it's quite a departure from the rest of the house. And I agree that if they were to modify that deck skirt configuration and maybe consider going to a lattice or something that was more traditional, it might be more in keeping with the style of the
Yeah.
house, as well as address the other concerns.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We will discuss Gore as well. So with that, we will take a break, recess, and we'll begin the official meeting at 5:30 sharp. Thank you. We're live. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. We just finished the work session. The regular meeting for the Architect Review Board will now begin. Introduce Jim Bailey and John Wagner with the city. We also have Jamie Hassmeyer with, who is our council liaison, Carol Dunkey and Tracy Collins, Jason Smith, David Yates, and then myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects that sit on the board. First item of business would be review of meeting minutes from December 18th. And I believe everyone noted is present.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December December 18th as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. Meeting minutes from December 18th are approved as noted with no changes. At this point, if we call your project name, we would ask you come to the front and to the podium to introduce yourself, and we will discuss your project. And if you're online, to raise your Zoom hand, and John will add you to the discussion. First project is a public hearing. It's 115 Orchard Avenue.
Good evening. I'm here to represent Michael Buckeye. He's pretty much under the weather. I sat in on the last meeting and I both spoke with Jim, and I've been in the middle of this. So
Yeah,
I can answer whatever questions are out there. I hope, or at least get you the answer.
Very good. All right, I don't think there was maybe one question. Carol?
I would like to compliment you guys on the work that you did on this. I think it turned out really, really nicely.
Okay.
So thank you so
I'll
much.
pass that on to Mike.
Yeah, please do. Please
Okay,
do.
I will.
And this is just one thing that's just a suggestion for you to consider. It's not, any kind of requirement. You have these nice brackets here. You might consider adding one underneath that cantilever there.
We'll be happy to.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's not a requirement, it's just a suggestion, but I think that would really tie together nicely with what you've got going on in the. front.
Okay, so if you convey that to Jim, I'll make sure Killian gets it on the right plan and it'll happen.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
Great.
Great.
I think that was it.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's it for the comments. So it is a public hearing. Is there anyone else present that wants to make a comment on 115 Orchard Avenue? Or online? Seeing no one, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 115 Orchard Avenue with the option that the owners may add a bracket at the cantilever to the left of the man door.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. Hope you all have a happy new year.
You too.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Next, we have 118 West Jackson Road.
Good evening. My name is Andrew with Lakeside Renovation, and I am representing my clients, the Taylor residents. I was here last week and you guys mentioned some things you wanted to see tweaked regarding the design. And so we talked with the client and we did so. So we're coming back to see what else needs to be adjusted for architectural review approval.
Great. Thank you. Welcome. I think Carol had a comment.
I really think retaining that original fascia on that downslope really helps make the elevations read in a more coherent way. So I think that's a big improvement. And then also that the trim board that y'all have added looks good. My major concern is the proposed left side elevation. And I see that you have those rough-in windows.
Yeah.
However, we need to keep in mind that those windows may never be installed. And if they're not installed, we have an addition where the whole side there is basically 3/4, nothing but uninterrupted siding. And I think that Jason had a suggestion that is a good one, which would be to go ahead and install those windows now. And then perhaps cover them on the interior, so you would have the golf simulator uninterrupted, so to speak. And then in the future, if that was no longer used as a simulator room, all you would need to do would be to expose those windows on the interior.
Okay.
That way, your windows could all be installed at the same time and they would all look alike and be the similar age. And I think that was an excellent suggestion.
Okay. And then what about the other rough-in window that's on the rear side?
If my point of view is, I think it would be great to go ahead and do that. However, for me, the left side is the most
Okay.
critical.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
And if I have to speak with the clients regarding that, because that is a additional price or increase in their budget. What if would it be possible if we didn't do the windows, if we did a second color, a different color on the top trim? So that way it breaks up the monotony of just it just being one color throughout the entire house.
Yeah, I think that would, but for me, it would still be an awful lot of blank siding.
Yeah, if the windows, putting in the windows, in a kind of future thinking way that also helps
Mhm.
alleviate the siding isn't possible
Mhm.
for, because it overly constrains the budget. Um, some other way of, I think more than paint
Yeah.
to break up that facade would be a good idea and help it fit into the neighborhood and hit that historic character that we're all often circling around for these. That could be maybe with a different type of siding, extending the window trim all the way over perhaps. So there's sort of a series of things that sort of start to feel like a zone within that facade. I don't want to prescribe anything to you. I think I agree though that paint alone seems like it may not be quite sufficient.
If we were to do maybe a shaker siding maybe on top or something that matches what the neighbors have, would that be more feasible?
Perhaps I think you may find that both your clients and maybe this review board would make some comments about wanting to make sure that there's something that doesn't feel out of place.
Yeah.
And not matching the rest of the house.
Mhm.
If so, certainly there's options there,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like I can prescribe anything with clarity there, other than to say, I agree, there's a lot of siding there. It looks like you want to put a window there in the future anyways.
Mhm.
If you could do that initially, that would kind of be a win-win.
Okay. So if the clients do agree with putting in windows, would we need to resubmit and come back next month for the meeting or?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we could approve it with that condition if you wanted. That way you'd at least have that approval. And if they decided they didn't want to do that,
Yeah, let's go ahead
Then
and
you
do
could-
that just in case if they want
at
to
least
get
you
it
can move forward.
going and
Yeah.
so forth and not wait another meeting. Let's go ahead and
Yep.
do that. And then if not, then we'll submit some other plans of what they would like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further questions or comments?
I maybe the option would be, for me, I don't disagree that a little interest on that side, but maybe one of those windows would give you some,
Maybe just do one window in the center.
that's my opinion. I'm looking at it and I think if you at least included one of them
Mhm.
on the left side, further down,
Yeah.
then that really does help break up the facade.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's something you could, suggest to the client. We could read that in the motion. So a minimum.
The minimum of one window, yeah. We could definitely do that, yeah.
I don't know how everyone else feels, but
Great. Yeah, I think that sounds good.
all right, well, we can put that in the motion for sure. So with that, may I have a motion on 118 West Jackson?
I'll make a motion to approve 118 West Jackson with the understanding that one window will be added to the left side elevation with the option for 2 windows to be added to the left side and the option for a window to be added to the rear.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye,
Aye, opposed? All right, you're approved as noted.
thanks.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
oops. On 118 West Jackson.
Oh, yes, this is the resident. I was just saying we're happy to put in that window per your recommendation. So
Okay, great. Well, thank
Great.
you.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
We got it done.
No. All right, very good. We'll move along to 857 Clark Avenue. Anyone present for that?
I am Tim Dolan with Frontenac Homes.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, welcome.
How you guys doing?
Great. Few questions. Who would like to go first?
I had a comment on on sheet 5, it's a right side elevation, but I think it's actually the left. Where you've got that brick turning the corner
Mhm.
at the front,
Yeah,
the window is butted up right against that brick.
I saw that. I just was looking at that. And I saw that,
Yeah.
and I obviously we would scoot the window. I would want to
Yeah,
have
you'd have
complete
two
trim. So
different jam
they'll
conditions.
both windows just be proportionately moved in on the fireplace, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I was gonna say you could maybe not take, I mean, just,
Or the reason the
Move
brick
the-
is there because we're just matching it the same return it is on the other side. We don't have to because you'd never actually see those two things at the same time.
Right.
So
maybe
if
just
you guys
keep
are
the-
okay with less brick, I'm certainly okay with less brick. If you can basically take a foot of brick out of there
Or just the trim dimension.
okay,
could just
just
do
the
the
trim
trim.
dimension?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
And then I noticed that the, kind of how you're turning around the brick, the top trim also changes.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a like a crown or cornice on the front elevation. So
Mhm.
you wanted to wrap that around just to return. I mean, honestly, I'd probably, if I would like to, I don't think it needs it, you know, the house is decorative enough. So, I mean, do you guys have a preference on whether that, because sometimes when it stops, it looks fake versus, you know, just continuing it, you know, and it doesn't make sense to continue it all the way around on the sides, whatnot. So
Yeah, I was
Still
just
take that
worried
off.
more about, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense on this elevation, but on the other one, the other side,
yeah,
where you would see that material stop and the next molding start, it looked
Yeah.
like you ran out of material or something. Like that doesn't read as well as how the brick turns. when it's-
yeah. He's basically doing like a crown that goes up to the bottom of the soffit, right? Which,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't ask him to do that, but he just put it. I don't know if that was a detail that was, you know, just threw in there. So,
Mhm.
Well,
are you okay with that being removed?
And I think it needs to be all the same. I mean, having that change like that, 2
Okay.
feet in on the corner,
Yeah.
so
I don't know if there's a good place I think he was just trying to stop it with the brick.
Yeah.
Right? It's a trim that goes
Yeah.
over the brick area. So we can,
I think on what's called the right side elevation where the brick is all the way high, all the way to the top.
Mhm.
makes sense.
And then
Yeah, but you
and
get
then
the
since the brick sticks out about 4 inches past the vinyl siding or
Mhm.
siding, maybe miter and return it back to the siding so that it,
okay.
rather than stopping it vertically on the brick,
Mhm.
wrap
Yeah,
the brick.
So
and-
just basically have it do, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But then on the other side elevation, it kind of stops
Do-
weird.
Yeah.
But maybe if you miter it there back to the siding, that'd be a better transition than just the vertical cut.
Yeah. I think that would help.
It's a really handsome home, so.
Thank you. Thank
Want to
you.
make sure we said that to you. Nice. Appreciate seeing it. One thought I wanted to put out there as an option for you to consider, the left side elevation is the one side that is kind of a long, straight facade.
Mhm.
All the other sides have some, small bump out, or in and out just gives it some more character.
Yeah,
And I was just gonna say, you may want to consider, maybe it's a guest room and a bedroom, or maybe it's the mudroom and a bedroom, but maybe there's on level 1 and 2, there's just a small bump out to break up that facade a little more.
yeah, we have kind of intentions of building similar versions of this. They'll all have slightly different front
Yeah.
elevations, based like just kind of flipping things so that they don't look like the same house. And, instead of having like a swoop, we might have more of like an angular, like kind of wings that come out of the house. And so I think in the future, we would definitely be open to doing that on the side. I was just trying to move forward with getting this one permitted at this point.
Yes.
Our schedule. Yeah, and I believe we have the setback stuff. So if there's, I guess I can talk to my architect and see if there's an appropriate spot for that.
Yeah, or maybe it's something like how on the front
Yeah.
facade, there's a section where you've got the fiber cement board paneling instead of
Mhm.
siding. Maybe there's something like that on the side, just to give it a little bit more depth on
Okay.
that left side elevation.
As I was looking at something, I realized that they did forget a window. So if you're looking at that I asked them to put in, it would be the right side elevation, kind of the part of the house that extends past there, right? That's a rear bedroom. And I think that's a very nice place to put a transom window to bring some more light in that bedroom.
Oh, up on,
Yeah, above like the back door there. Yeah, right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And so imagine that, a builder coming and adding windows.
oh my God.
So just to be clear, so on the front crown detail, just kind of return it as like at the front as opposed to like bringing it around is what you're saying, right?
Well, like,
If we're looking at that,
at
that
least
left side elevation, you're saying just kind of end it. Yeah, sorry, may I approach?
yeah, go ahead. How I was trying to verbalize it was that, that trim comes around,
Mhm.
and then rather than having a vertical cut, you would miter it and return it back.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's the brick projection, I'm looking at a plan,
Mhm.
here's your crown mold, do that back to the siding.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, that makes it look intentional instead of. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
the,
just cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same
We
on-
would miter it in the field. Yeah.
And the same on that side.
Okay.
And
Great.
then my two comments were, is this corner board here, the hardy board corner board, or is that the vinyl quarter board?
So that's hardy board. Does he have it as vinyl? He has it a mullet. So I didn't see that he had.
His keynote 4 was just sort of not clear.
Oh, yeah, so maybe he left it open, so if we wanted to value engineer it, at the point, we would be doing all.
Yeah.
All our house.
And my last comment was that, these corbels are great.
Mhm.
It's on the side here. I was wondering if, right now it's only an 8-1 wide course. I was wondering if you would consider doing like maybe a brick, a white and a half or two, just to make the corbel more substantial. And
That's actually a good point. Most of the
And-
time we don't.
it would actually allow you to put a stretcher in to actually make the corbels
yeah.
support themselves.
Yeah, I think the masons might have, they would actually like the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I couldn't see what you guys were
Oh.
pointing at. Could you kind of review that so I've got it?
The
Directly in
corbel
my-
on the front is only 1 course thick, and he said probably do it 2 courses thick so that
Oh.
they're more substantial.
So it's more of a
Thickness, okay.
substantial corbel up there, and then we're gonna return the crown mold to a mitered return to the face of the.
Yeah, I got that one. It's just this one that I didn't understand it when you were talking
Got it.
about it. Okay.
Got it.
So-
And so on both sides, and then and he had said that they're gonna add a transit window.
I got that one. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so you're basically just adding a course to the corbels. Okay, I got it. Thanks. I just couldn't see what you guys were
Yeah,
doing.
and also just make sure that that corner board on the main facade is the hardy board that matches this side versus the vinyl on that side.
I just wanted to ask, did you say you were going all hardy? Did I understand that
Yes.
correctly? Okay, so we can make that clarification. You're okay with that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank
I
you.
think in the previous house that we were permitted on Oakwood, we had it as, vinyl or hardy on the sides, and that was, they call a mullet, and we don't want to do that. So
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be the first guy to do a mullet. And
I hadn't heard that before. I really like that one. That's almost as good as pork chop.
What's the pork chop?
Um, the the returns you see that are like just boxed off, kind
Yeah.
of that look like ears or something.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it's got that triangular shape. The slang term for that is a pork chop.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There's a few.
Not to only keep focusing on the left side elevation, because all this is great. I just realized the other thing I wanted to point out to you on that left side elevation, and maybe just be a drafting thing. I think there's a window on the second floor that's almost aligned with a window on the first floor, but just slightly staggered. You may just want to take a peek at that, see if you want to. Right here. Yeah.
Is that double window?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think that's be an issue to align. It looks like it's like.
I mean, if it works, you know, it might feel a little bit less like you don't want it to feel like a mistake. Works for the plan though.
All right.
What room is that in? That you're referring to?
It's like bedroom
I think
three.
it's bed, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it really makes a difference if it's centered in that room as opposed to how it looks from the outside. Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. I think with that, we can make a motion with those clarifications on 857 Clark. So with that, may I have a motion?
I will move to approve 857 Clark with the following clarifications. On sheet 6, the right side elevation, which is actually the left side elevation, the brick return will be reduced to allow the trim to be completed on the window jamb. The upper decorative eave trim will be mitered where it meets the other trim on both sides of the home. A new transom window will be added on sheet 6 on the left side elevation in the bedroom. And an additional course will be added to the corbels at the eave detail. And that all siding is to be hardy.
Oh, we've got to adjust the position of the bedroom 3 window.
And if possible, to align the bedroom 3 double window with the single window below.
Okay.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Oppose? All right, you're approved as noted.
Right. Question, just because I guess the newer process is that I was told that there's 2 ARB meetings per plan. No, so this is it. Like I can just get the revisions and turn back in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
It looks very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Have a nice evening. Next, we have 739 Hurst Green Road.
Hello, I'm Justin Beasley.
Welcome
Hey,
back, Justin.
We took a lot of almost every suggestion and put it into effect here on the set of prints there.
Yeah, looks great. Agreed. I think there was one question about the eve returns.
Yeah, thank you so much for picking up the comments. It looks really good, and I think you'll thank yourself for adding those chimney chases on the
Yes,
back.
yeah,
That
we
was-
decided to go ahead and
Yeah.
go through with that. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that. I think that the only comment I have, it looks like it might just be a drafting item that needs to be picked up. We talked about making the returns
Mhm.
at the gables the same all the way around. And it looks like that's the only item that I see that has not been picked up.
Yes.
And just because of the way they vary, I think it might be just kind of a drafting thing
Sure.
that didn't get picked up.
I believe that is
Yeah.
correct on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just a clarification, are those like a shed shape or the hip shape?
They're a shed shape if I
Okay.
recall on that.
Okay, Thank you.
Yes.
And I think somebody had a comment about the
Oh,
column.
Yeah, on the rear porch, there was a column right on the window, which makes sense to get rid of. But now looking at the porch itself, wondering if that front main span is longer than, be nice to have a column in maybe the center.
We went back and forth with the architect about this. He did expand the size of the beam across there to make sure it has plenty of load. The main reason why we like it open, if I'm being honest, is that it's a breakfast room and a kitchen window, and we really want a clear shot of the back porch. We have 4 kiddos, and we really want to be able to look out that window and just see out there.
Right.
And then it starts to get a little weird on symmetricalness. If you add that middle one, then it feels weirdly weighted to the right.
Mm.
And those are some of the things I'm a little particular about, is the
No,
the
that's
symmetricalness of it. So thank you.
Yeah.
I did make sure he expanded, obviously, and
Good
he
reason.
over engineers these typically with us.
Yeah, but good reason not to have the column there. So I'm fine with it.
And we did
Right.
have those windows to those rooms and so on. So
All right. Fantastic. Well, with that, then I'll ask for a motion on 739 Hertz Green.
I'll make a motion to approve 739 Hearst Green as submitted, with the understanding that the returns at the eaves on the gable roofs will match all the way around the house.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
thank you. Look forward to being part of the community.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, we have 1112 Drayton Avenue. My eyes are like shot after a day of looking at the computer. Sorry. Yes. Drayton Avenue. Anyone online for that?
Got a hand raised online.
There is, yes. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Josh with we representing 1112 Drayton.
All right, welcome, Josh. I think we have a few questions. Tracy, I know you
Yep.
had a question.
yeah, we didn't get any existing photos of your home as part of the packet, and I just wanted to make sure that the addition roof condition matches how the roof is terminated at the main home.
Yes, the architect did submit 4 photos of the existing elevations with everything. I'm sorry they didn't get over to the board. There is no overhang, eave, or soffit on the existing house,
Okay,
which is why the plans show for the addition to be the same.
yep. Okay. And then I was wondering if we could add, or maybe at your existing home, it's all vinyl siding now, right?
Correct.
So do your windows have trim around them now?
They do. So the house was remodeled before the new owners purchased it. The models are all, the windows were all remodeled, and they looks like they left the old casings and just did a trim coil wrap. So we were planning, and they are probably the original 2.5 inch. So we were going to do a 1x3 AZEC and then J up to that to match the existing.
Okay. So we'll note that in our motion because it's not really drawn that way. So we just want to make
Sure.
sure that that gets included. And then on that sliding door, do you know if both of those panels of the door are operable?
No, it'll be just the one side operation. But I heard
Okay.
your guys' earlier questions about it, and looking at the plans now, it still might look better for that platform to be the width of the door.
I agree.
The only reason that it wasn't originally, when designing with the architect, we talked about the rails not infringing on that window that is centered between the corner of the house and the slider. So it may be we drop down to a 5.0 slider so that the platform width can encompass the entire door.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that would
Yeah.
look better and just mentally feel safer too.
Mhm.
Just,
Sure.
so yeah, if you're open to that, I think that would be a good change.
Mhm.
Related to the trim, does the existing house have corner boards at the siding?
No, they're all vinyl corners, vinyl siding corners.
Okay, so the new would match the existing that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay, And then is there a plan to put a sort of a lattice or something similar below that stair? Would otherwise sort of end up being kind of a dirt zone with exposed concrete.
Yes, we will. The majority of the concrete will be covered, but we will do a lattice all the way up to the platform and running down the exterior stringer.
Cool. Yeah, it wasn't drawn that way, and so just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Sure.
What material do you think you'll be using for the railing?
I would imagine they would like to do a white vinyl. I think we wrote it as a wood or a vinyl option, but the white vinyl would look better with the tan siding and the white windows.
Okay.
What's the finish on the existing concrete and what's the plan for the exposed concrete for the new addition?
So the current is a beautiful stamped concrete that actually goes out another 6 feet past where the addition would stop. Right now, there is a saw mark expansion joint. We're planning to cut that and trying to keep that and then to match what's there. It really depends on how much damage the machines do digging out the basement. So the goal is to keep that.
Okay. Nice. All right, any other comments from the board? I think there's enough, simple enough revisions that we can put that in a motion. The items we discussed and approve it as with the items that we just discussed, if that's okay. So with that, I'll ask for a motion. Someone on the board?
I'll move to approve 1112 Drayton Avenue with the following clarifications. The window trim around the new windows will match the trim around the existing windows. The corner trim will also match the existing. The landing at the top of the stairs will be expanded to match the width or be slightly larger than the width of the sliding door. And lattice will be added underneath the landing and stair. And the concrete finish will match, they'll be existing, right? So there's no,
Dick stamped, yeah.
will be a stamped, yeah.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, next we have 425 South Gore Avenue, front porch.
Last one.
My name is Brian. I'm the owner of Custom Decks and Patios. I would be the contractor for this project.
Great, welcome, Brian.
I think what as we were looking at this one comment that we had is maybe a bit more of a question, but oftentimes the front face of these decks, the skirt boards, will be like a lattice, or the existing building has something. I believe it's a stucco of some kind, but usually it's something breathable, and that also fits a lot of the character of what these homes have in the neighborhood. So just wanted to ask if you would consider doing something like a lattice, or more in keeping with the neighborhood, more in keeping with the historic quality of the house, on those front boards that kind of encapsulate the deck, the porch.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to obviously talk to the customer, make sure that she's okay with that. Could I maybe do like a, like this is the board that we're using, obviously, most Mocha, but could I take a board like that and maybe like trim it out and then put the lattice in
Yeah.
with that or something?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so it'd be like lattice panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
That would look really nice.
very-
Yeah, I think that would look good too. I just, I know when we originally talked with this Katie here, she. Oh, okay, great. I know that she wasn't really happy with just doing full lattice.
Yeah. Framing
but
it like that would be a really.
My
interesting-
other suggestion too that we could do too is the boards that you're seeing coming down on the front of these is, you know, you're talking about moisture or whatever kind of staying in there, but we can gap that too if you want, like, you know what I mean? So we can do these same boards, but maybe do like maybe an inch gap between each one,
Mhm.
if that would be, you know, another
Yeah.
possible.
For me, with the horizontal boards, especially in this material, this starts taking on the look of a deck that's on the back of a house.
Okay.
And, you know, this is such a beautiful home. It's got such a great vintage character, and you guys are just like a half a block from where the historic district ends.
Okay.
But I mean, your house is really complementary with that district.
Mhm.
So I would strongly suggest going with those lattice panels, because that would be a nice traditional style. It would be much more in keeping with the style of the beautiful house and also with the style of the neighborhood.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think it's just the blue one.
Okay, you're on.
Katie, can you hear us? No, it doesn't look like she's showing up. muted.
Oh, she is muted. Katie, can you please unmute?
Hello, is anyone able to hear me?
We got you.
All right,
Hi, Katie.
perfect. So I actually really want to counter that lattice. Tutors are not used to having lattice. That's actually a very American style. But there are multiple houses in our neighborhood and actually in the historic district with addresses I'm more than happy to provide that do not use lattice for their front porch, that have more of the horizontal front porch, horizontal blocks. I truly hate lattice. It's actually really bad for animals. Animals tend to get caught in there. You have raccoons, you have cats in there. It tends to break very easily as well. So if there's any way we can avoid a lattice, unless it's the last possible thing, I would truly appreciate that.
What about the possibility of maybe maintaining something similar to what you have, but doing a more paneled
I'll
style?
say the same.
So that would give you the close off that you want. But then if you did like the panel style, just like if you were going to do lattice, you were talking about doing panels around them.
Just a trim. Yeah. Trim it
Yeah,
up.
so if you were to do a solid fill instead of the lattice, but have the panels, so it had a little more articulation and rhythm to it.
Okay.
I think that that might solve both issues if
Yeah.
anybody else has, yes, just like Bob drew right there.
Right, I think the half timbering on your house reads as that dark wood and you've got
Yeah.
the dark rail. So maybe architecturally, if you were to do the same for the skirt panel, that would be a way to tie it. And then the solid panels in the center could be the lighter material or something.
Yeah, I think that looks great.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that would also give you an opportunity to kind of hide an access panel in case you did have to get in there.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those could
Yeah,
just screw off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case one of those industrious critters digs underneath, which they do. I know that from experience.
Yeah. No doubt.
But you do what, I don't know what picture you, this one here, this is kind of, I was also talking about doing it where you just kind of,
I think the panel of.
is that the one?
That's
Yeah.
kind of open.
I think the general.
Or just has like a little bit of spacing between each.
I think the panel approach that Bob drew works well.
Okay.
I don't know. I think, Katie, it's just for the architectural style of your house, if you want it to be solid, if you were to think about, the darker trim and then the infill panels being set back, they wouldn't have to be lattice, but then I think then would match like the base of your house.
Yeah.
And the other images that you're showing are a little more contemporary. I think they mismatch with the house.
Okay.
They're like too contemporary for the house, in my opinion. I'm not sure if you guys are open to something along that line.
The wood that's being used actually matches the exact same wood color of our house. So it's the exact same color as the Tudor wood. So I don't necessarily know if that picture does it exactly justice, because we did match to have it be color coordinated with the wood of the Tudor. So there would not be a change in. Sorry, I have a 1-year-old. So that would
You're
not
fine.
be like a big color differential between what the typical Tudor outdoor wood is from what the porch looks like.
And I think you're hearing us say the word panel a lot, and it's hard without being able to see a sketch. But if you look at the house, there is kind of this panel effect around a lot of the windows with trim boards that are, sort of out in front of and a different color from the stucco. And I think what you're hearing from the board is, rather than just horizontal, solid, closed front face boards on that porch, would you consider panelizing it so that there's sort of a similar look in some ways to what's happening on the house above?
Yeah, absolutely. We can change that style. I'm just transparently, I'm very opposed to lattice. So we can absolutely change that style to be more breathable and more consistent with the vibe of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and give you a great place to have an access panel that would be
Yeah.
discreet, like on the side or something, in case you do want to get in there, which I think is an excellent suggestion that Tracy made.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely rendered not to match the
Yeah.
color. The renderings we're looking at don't match I don't know what I'm looking at, really. They don't match the house color at all, so that's why we said that. But yeah, if all of that wood is the same color as the half timbering, and you were just to add the vertical elements at the corners and say to align with the center posts, that's really what we're suggesting would I think tie it to the house a lot better
Okay.
architecturally. And yes, the board is colorblind, so.
Yeah.
But we can suggest that, yeah, that's a good idea to match the same color as that's on the house, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if you want to take a picture of that sketch,
Hey, maybe give it to them so they can
Yeah, I'll
get
just,
a better understanding.
give it to her.
Yeah.
that's
'cause-
kind of the thought.
And it does look nice that, on Bob's sketch, that's carried around to the side as well,
Oh, yeah.
analyzing.
Yeah, it's funny from over there, like you just AI, you turned this off or something, like, I couldn't tell, I was like, I don't want to do that one.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just sketching with a pen. Oh, yeah, I didn't do the other side, so.
No.
But it would be the same deal,
Yeah,
right?
it's Saying yes.
That's all we're saying. So this side would be the same with the panelized, with the vertical, so it's not really panelized
And it breaks it up.
and it breaks it up. And then
Absolutely.
I think
Matches
it,
the house.
Definitely delicious, yeah.
and then that way it'll match the architecture of the house. That was a
I just
suggestion.
want to make sure I got this correct. Andy probably understands better than I do. So this board that we're gonna put here,
Yeah,
am I going to, are we wanting to do that black or to match this? Or are we going to?
well,
the same
no, yeah, the same
Okay,
as the
that-
house. That's what Katie
So the
was
same
saying.
color, is that, okay.
And-
It's all supposed to be the same color as the timbering on the house.
And those would stand proud a little bit of the infill, so the infill would be
Yeah.
recessed a bit.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, yeah. You want me to keep these or?
Yeah, please.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, as long as she's happy with it, I can easily do it, so.
Good suggestions, everybody. Thank you.
Right. All right, so with that, I think we could just make a motion and approve it as noted, and if there's any, concerns, just yeah.
I make a motion to approve 425 South Gore Avenue as submitted with the clarification to break up the faces of the porch with a raised trim with a drop panel, all in the same material as you've shown, that to match the timber frame on the building.
Right, okay. Yep.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, opposed? All right, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks, Katie.
Was I the last one?
You were.
That's
First
it.
one in, last one out.
There you go. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you all.